Native son. The mirror dawdles before at best a family resemblance. We live in an age of genetic determinism. His father, as opposed in this instance to social father, a Nobel laureate, he dreams of becoming a pro wrestler. Moniker, the seed. I seed what I seed before I turn back. Sperm bank children lack many adoptees' anguish. Once her second divorce is out of the way, she says, she will have a child in vitro with her first ex-husband. All women giving up children for adoption in the state of Florida must publish the names of their sexual partners in the newspaper. He collected verite before most wanteds hit the small screen. A rat, an alarm, a cell, scrap that. Haiku he set in the snow. Hold up your small glass shard and wait. What is in the one instance a matter of privacy, the laureates, is in the other one of publicity. In the name of the biological Father, the biological Son, and the biological Holy Ghost. Sunk in his red chair in a darkening room, a teenage boy glances at the evening paper. Who so hunts these lists? Seeing her on the street with her 9-year-old daughter, he wrote a postcard acknowledging paternity after the lies, the lawsuit. Okay, one more from here. I want my Donald Rumsfeld poems. Sons and lovers. The defense secretary manipulates actual and symbolic value. We will smoke them out of their caves. A reporter asks about his shoes, the ones that remind the secretary of Taos, New Mexico. Adobe Democrats forget their building material is made of shit. C'est merde, the Argentinian performer tells me when I ask her about breaking a leg. Wooden ladders propped against slanted walls, tubercular ghost of a painter intrigued by conjunctions of body and mind, where head is subordinate to solar plexus. Teletubbies as philosophical constructs. Adoption adapts nature into construct, intervening in myths of origin, the rivers of the breast. Loosely translated, his story went, I flew my airplane over the moon, but the moon crashed into the door. Both airplane and moon fell to the floor and broke in pieces. The body is a proxy for language. An old lady takes off her white shawl, slips shoulder pads under her blouse, becomes a general. He sweeps the air with his hands, punches his fists together, makes the sound of breaking metal, more than but not sufficient to. Grant me rest from these ruminations. What we say to who is not there, Monsignor or JJ the jet plane, signs them into being. It was at the conjunction of being and event that the outside forced its way in. The leader incarnated as interpolated text. It matters what you quote and when. Okay. The first one is called The Left-Handed Pornographer. I was asked to pick somebody up at the airport once because he was a baseball writer, and I like baseball. And so I looked up his website, and there was a link to an article about left-handedness. And because I'm half left-handed, I clicked on it, and I got a porn site. So I wrote this poem. I apologize for all the, many of the references are to American baseball players, but I think everybody in this poem is left-handed until the very end. As you will recall, Bush's father was left-handed, Bill Clinton was left-handed, and they ran against Ross Perot, who was left-handed. And now we have a right-handed president. The left-handed pornographer. The left-handed pornographer was a good kid, raised in a mill town, an earnest child, but thoughtful. When a baseball crashed through his mother's window, he argued for clemency for the offending child. He was funny in the manner of a young Seinfeld or Stewart, and loved playing air guitar, McCartney or Hendrix, no matter. There was something wrong with those desks, though. He failed tests when his forearm ached like Randy Johnson's in the late innings. He played most often in the field without a glove, as the lefty mitts sold out so quickly, there being so few of them. As he grew older, his fantasies became more and more clandestine. He imagined being beaten by a right-handed woman while his left hand was tied to a bedpost. He saw entire baseball teams of right-handed players getting hand jobs from Barry Bonds or Steve Carlton, depending on the era. He knew the pederast's top hand on the bat would be the right, that the masochist offered up his left for spanking, that Jean Genet must have had southpaw tendencies. When last we saw the left-handed pornographer, he was splicing together clips of left-handed presidents engaged in oral sex with their interns. But what he neglected were the truly sinister effects of the leader who stood at the right hand of God because he wants me to be president. Okay, finally, I guess like Kathleen, I have a mother who has recently kind of faded into dementia. So I'll finish off with a mother poem. One of the symptoms of her dementia actually was she started standing up for George Bush. I knew something was wrong then. And then when she was first moved into an Alzheimer's care home, she told me she was in Afghanistan and needed a train to Worcester, Ohio. Mother. The old woman carries a smeared yogurt lid to the trash and then an apple core, her compulsion a kind of reverence. Your father was Irish Catholic, she says to one whose father was German Lutheran. History strays, but not its objects. The mind acquires new pathways, conflating generations like fly paper its flies, insisting on its own truths, not dementia, but a new narrative. Definitions crucial. They tell us that genocide does not apply, that terror is more than a tactic, if less than a politics. She calls before dawn, unaware of savings time, her single expenditure beyond an arc of need, insure and cookies. Easier to prepare for death than for decline, its alternate passage. Bound to a schedule she no longer remembers, she sits on a miniature piano bench in her garage, waiting for the mailman to come. We walked up and down the street under our umbrellas, waiting for you to arrive the day before you did. Where all is foretold but nothing is on time, prophecy falls like a souffle. What comes is no longer sure to bring, and what is brought comes past the point of expiration. Thank you very much.